Okay, I'm going to cut up this pork loin. I am going to attempt to make pork chops, pork roast, and probably stuffed pork chops. So I have the large end over here and the small end over here. I cut it in half so it would fit on the board. I think this is going to wind up being pork chops and a small roast at the end because it's not perfectly shaped. So let's do this. We're going to cut these chops about like that. I paid $1.48 a pound for this. The total price was $12.79. So let's see how many meals we can get out of this. I think one more out of here. And that'll make a nice roast. Close that up like that. Season it up. So that's half of it. I normally eat 2 of these for a meal. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one of these, put it with this one. Take this one and put it with that one. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 meals. So that's 5 meals out of half of that loin. Now we got this one. Okay, now I want stuffed pork chops. This end looks pretty good. We got this little tail on here. So I'm going to cut two more. To lose that tail. Then we're going to go almost double of this with 1.5 times the thickness of that. So we'll go to about right here. And we'll deal with that for a stuffed pork chop. And we'll get probably 4 of those out of it. About there, I think. Okay, there's 4 stuffed pork chops. So we have, what, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 meals. And I got this. I'll probably turn this into, let's see, maybe some stir fry. Or something like that. I don't know yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this one alone. I could either cut that at a later date, cut it into chops, cut it into strips for stir fry, or whatever. So we'll go with that. Now this one I want to make into a stuffed pork chop. So I'm going to go, see if I can turn this so you can see it. I want to go right in here. I'm not going all the way through. We'll make a little pocket like that, just so it's open. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on this one. A little pocket. And just get it open like that. I want it as deep as I can get it without going through, because I don't want everything to run out when I stuff it and start cooking it. I don't want everything to run out into the oven or into my grill. Just like that. Okay, so there we go. There's 4 stuffed pork chops, some leftover for whatever I decide to do with it. Now I'm going to take my stuffed pork chops and put them on here. I save these trays from when I buy large cuts of meat so that I can use it for prepping the other stuff. Okay, so we got 4, 5. 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, and whatever I'm going to do with that. Without this, these right here are $1.28 for a meal. Okay? Roast, stuffed pork chops. I eat 1 stuffed pork chop or 2 regular pork chops in a meal. So basically, each one of these meals right here on this plate, I have 10 of them, plus this, is $1. Let's see, I paid $12.79, so it's $1.29, $1.28 a meal. Now, if you only eat 1 pork chop for a meal, obviously that's half. So, there you go. And that took me, what, I don't know. Let's see, how long is this video? Well, I'm at 8 minutes and 10 seconds right now, so there you go. In 10 minutes, you can make yourself a good meal. Now, that doesn't include the vegetables, obviously, but I got canned vegetables that I paid 50 cents a can for. They were on sale. I buy everything on sale. If it's not on sale, I do not buy it unless I just really gotta have it and I got the extra money for it. Otherwise, I don't do it. Now, when I get ready to cook these up and package up the stuff, I'll do a video for that too. The pork chops can be packaged into individual packages, like Ziploc baggies. You get like 20-something baggies for like $1 at the dollar store. They work just fine for putting these in the freezer. The stuffed pork chops, same thing. You can put them in a single Ziploc baggie. I usually season and stuff them first, wrap them in parchment paper, also available at the dollar store, and it's like 25 square feet. You can package up a lot of these pork chops or anything else with it, but I package them in the parchment and then I wrap them in foil also, or put them in a Ziploc. Put them in the freezer, but they're already stuffed, they're already seasoned before they ever get packaged up. That way, if you're going to cook them on the grill, I recommend parchment paper and foil. That way You do not even have to defrost them. You put the whole foil pack right on there. It already has the seasoning, already has the stuffing. Everything is right there for you. When it comes off, poof, it's done. You open it up, put it on a plate, open the foil up, and eat it right out of the foil. I do the same thing with ribs. If you've seen the video that I did on ribs, I do the same thing with the ribs. I season them all, I package them up in parchment and foil. If I'm going to cook them that night, I do not put the parchment on them. The only reason the parchment is there is to keep the foil from contacting the meat and the seasoning, because the seasoning will attack the foil. So, if I'm going to cook them that night, I'll put them, season them all up, put them in foil, and put them in the refrigerator. If I'm going to cook them at a later date, I'll season them up, wrap them in parchment, put them in foil, and put them in the freezer. That way I pull them right out of the freezer, put them right on the grill, and cook. And then I open them up, remove the parchment, brown them, barbecue them, or whatever other kind of seasoning you want to put on them. So, $1.28 per meal with this. So you figure that's less than $1 a meal for 2 pork chops or a stuffed pork chop or a roast or whatever. And I'll get back to doing a video on actually putting together the whole meal. Everything that goes with it, the vegetables, all of it. And I'll show you how to do it cheap. I usually eat real well for less than $5 a day. So, if you're interested, like and subscribe, and I'll be back.